So, round 3 of books that we're suggesting in different topics. So we started, as you know, in the beginning with church history, beginning to see where we came from, diving into what the people closest to Jesus Christ understood and saw and lived, and then wrote down and left for us. After that, we had apologetics, kind of hitting the top defensive layer of what we believe as Christians, finding ways to speak common languages to be able to tell people and have them understand what we're saying as well as we understand what they're saying, and then to begin to evangelize. Today, it's about catechetics. How do we dive deeper into what we are giving? The realities of the faith. How do we come to see what is real, integrate them, and become to know them more? So the best and general way to do this, for example, is that the church gives us the Catechism of the Catholic Church. So the Catechism is a summary. It's one of many catechisms the church has developed over time, but this is the most recent, and a summary of 2,000 years and building on our thousands of years of Jewish ancestry as to what we believe. So you can go through and you can look in the back and you can say, okay, I got questions on weddings. So weddings at Cana, the feast, the mystical betrothal, boom, it just starts walking through the sacrament and what's been taught. And the great thing about this too is it footnotes at the bottom the scriptures, the church history, the doctors of the church who've written about it, and you can go and read all kinds of different things. And it has everything: just war, just wages, all kinds of different stuff. And you can say, oh, what does the church say about this? And you can look in the glossary or look in the index and find good answers. If it's too thick, a lot of times in RCIA, our program for entering the church, we'll have other books. So the United States Catholic Catechism for Adults, they've kind of tailored this for our RCIA programs here in the United States. And so it gives a lot of good examples in this one. Oftentimes forgotten is the UCAT, the Youth Catechism. Now the Youth Catechism, much shorter, but also is a lot more updated, has a lot of biomed references, has a lot of really good commentary on a lot of different subjects. And so there's a lot of, sometimes I'll come here for good examples or good ways of saying things, even over the other two. So this is a good option as well. Some personal writers, they write their own summaries. So Peter Kreeft, for example, a philosopher and theologian, he writes his own. The Catholic Christianity, a lot of RCIA programs use this as well. And he walks through the catechism, gives examples and explanations. Maybe it's we got a lot we're working through. We're going to try and make it in 5 minutes, though. Here we go. Under 6. 3, to get married. Maybe you go to a bishop or a doctor of the church or a priest back in the day who picks a particular topic. So for this one is marriage, or what is marriage, or being prepared for marriage. And Bishop Fulton Sheen, he goes through and talks about it. And he gives examples. It's a short book, but the worst one about this one is it has smaller writing. But this would be an example of, there are people throughout history that write, they'd pick a topic on the Trinity, on the Incarnation. This one is basically on marriage. And you can see how one particular Christian or doctor has seen these over time, and maybe it helps give you a different perspective or depth to a topic, or death to a topic. Hail Holy Queen. So for example, Scott Hahn, he gives a series of books, and so he picks a topic and he runs through a series. So for example, this one is a short, nice, level written one on Mary. He has others. He has a whole series of them. Lord Have Mercy, on the healing power of confession. Or my favorite, he likes that Lamb's Supper. Lamb's Supper is looking at the book of Revelation, and not just as an apocalypsis or end of all things, but a different kind of end of all things. It shows how the liturgy in heaven, how God is worshipped continually in heaven. And what does that look like? And so he shows this as Mass as heaven on earth. It's a very interesting perspective. But this is where one writer picks a particular topic, and we can do that, find our passion, and dive in. Another one at Mary Magdalene, this is one of my favorites, is Dr. Brant Petrie, Jesus and the Jewish Roots of the Eucharist. So this is diving into our Jewish ancestry in order that we can understand where we came from. Jesus was born as a Jew, and so he is fulfilling the Hebrew people in all things as we are as Christians. So Dr. Brant Petrie, he started with this as sort of his research, and then he came out with Mary, Jesus and the Jewish roots of Mary, the Jewish roots of the bridegroom, I think is most recent one. Maybe you go something a little more, even more specific. So for example, maybe you're interested in things that have to do with more exorcism. So there are two. This is the one with Father Fortea, Interview with an Exorcist. This is question answer. So it's very short, but it's a question answer of what is this, what is this, what is this? And he gives This is X, this is Y, this is obsession or infestation, or this is that. And he goes through and gives short answers. More in a narrative, Father Amorth, he goes through and kind of tells a story. So you can go through and find something and dive more into the invisible in these two books. Those are two kind of go-tos that I use when I have to reference things on magic or New Age things, and the Exorcists give good insight into that. So here are some, in catechetics, these are some different ways you can start on a high level with the catechism and have a little bit of everything and has a resource or anything you want to know. Move it on further down into more personal writings on the catechism or a youth catechism, or find good apologists, good theologians who write on particular topics. And you find those particular topics and you dive in, find something you're interested in or that you need to know more about, and see where it takes you as you dive deeper. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's a good thing, and hopefully these are some options to help you out. See you tomorrow at 5.